Hello everyone, welcome to the channel Study with Asmita. Today we are going to start with our chapter number 2 of class 11, that is biological classification. So in the previous chapter we have studied about the classification of the all living organisms based on their similarities and dissimilarities, right? So in this chapter we are going to look about their features and characteristics of those animals which we have already classified, and we will take a detailed look of it. So before starting with the chapter, let us see the topic which we are going to cover in this chapter. So the first topic is monera, which contains all the bacteria which are unicellular and prokaryotes. Now the second kingdom, that is protista, that contains unicellular eukaryotes. Now the next one is fungi, plantae and animalia. Then we will also study about virus, varites and lichens, which has given no place in biological classification. Now let's see the classification system. So the first classification was the earliest classification given by the Aristotle. Aristotle divided living organisms into plants and animals. Now, here plants were further classified as herbs, shrubs, and trees. Coming to animals, which were classified as enema and anima. Enema are the organisms which has red blood cells such as humans, and anema are the organisms which lacks red blood cells such as cockroach insect. Now coming to the next system of the classification, that is two kingdom system of classification that was given by Carolus Linnaeus, which was on the basis of the presence and the absence of the cell wall. So it was again classified as plant kingdom, which contains cell wall, and animal kingdom, which lacks cell wall. So now plant kingdom was further classified as bacteria, fungi and plantae, whose cell wall is made up of peptidoglycan, chitin and cellulose respectively. Now animal kingdom was further classified as protozoans such as amoeba, and second one is animal. Now the drawback of this classification was this system did not distinguish between the prokaryotes and eukaryotic organisms. Second, between the photosynthetic and non-photosynthetic, and the third one is unable to differentiate between unicellular and multicellular organisms. Now the most important classification, that is five kingdom system of classification, which was given by R.H. Whitaker in 1969, right? So the basis of this classification was the first, that is the cell structure, means it is prokaryotic cell or eukaryotic cell present in that particular organism. Then the second one is, that is the body organization, means the organism is unicellular or multicellular. Then the mode of nutrition means autotrophic or heterotrophic. Now other bases are the presence or the absence of the cell wall. Then the third, if the cell wall is present, then its composition also should be checked. Now the next one is the mode of reproduction, and last one is, that is phylogenetic relationship. It means here we need to check the ancestor of that particular organisms. Now these five kingdom system of the classification contains the kingdom monera, protista, fungi, plantae and animalia. So monera are all unicellular prokaryotes organisms, while protista are unicellular eukaryotic organisms. Coming to fungi, it's multicellular eukaryotic saprophytic, whose cell wall is made up of chitin, or the polysaccharide. Now the plant kingdom is multicellular eukaryotic autotrophic whose cell wall is made up of cellulose. Coming to animals, these are multicellular eukaryotic and heterotrophs which are motile and lacks cell wall. Now let's talk about few of the characteristics of all the five kingdoms, which are monera, protista, fungi, plantae and animalia. So the first one is cell type. So in case of monera, all are prokaryotic. Rest, all the kingdoms are eukaryotic. Then the cell wall in case of monera, it is made up of polysaccharide and amino acid. In case of protista, it is only present in few of the protistans. In fungi, it's made up of chitin, and in case of plant kingdom, it is made up of cellulose. If we talk about kingdom Animalia, then cell wall is absent here. Now coming to the nuclear membrane. So in monera, as we can see that it has prokaryotic cell type, so its nuclear membrane is absent, and rest in all nuclear membrane is present. Coming to the body organization, then it is cellular level of organization in both monera and protista, and multicellular or loose tissue in fungi, then tissue or organ level of body organization in plantae, then animalia can has tissue or organ system level of body organization. Coming to the mode of nutrition, so in monera it can be autotrophic or heterotrophic, that is saprophytic or parasitic. In case of autotrophic, it can be chemosynthetic and photosynthetic. Now in case of protista, it can be autotrophic or heterotrophic. Now in case of fungi, it can be heterotrophic only by the mode of saprophytic or parasitic. Now in case of plant kingdom, it's only autotrophic, that is photosynthetic, and in kingdom Animalia, that can be by the mode of holozoic or saprophytic. Now coming to the three domain system of the classification, which was given by Carl Woese. So this classification system includes three domains, right? The first one is archaea, which includes the most primitive life in very harsh habitat. Then the second one is the eubacteria, that is also known as true bacteria, which includes kingdom monera. Then the third one is eukarya, which includes all the eukaryotic organisms. These are protista, fungi, plantae and animalia. Now let's start with our first kingdom, that is monera. Includes all the bacteria, which are most primitive organism first appeared as life on the earth. So basically this bacteria can be found everywhere, that is air, water and soil, so it's cosmopolitan. Then coming to the nature, so these bacteria are simple in structure but very complex in behavior due to its extensive metabolism. Now let us see the classification of the bacteria on the basis of shape. So it can be divided or classified as first the coccus, vibrio, then the bacilli, and last one is spirula. So coccus bacteria is basically spiral in shape. Then the next one is vibrio, that is comma shaped bacteria. Now coming to the next one, that is bacillus or rod shaped bacteria. And coming to the last type, that is spirula, that is these bacteria are spiral in shape and are mostly flagellated, and so they are motile bacteria. Now coming to the archaebacteria. So these bacteria are most primitive bacteria first appear as life after the origin of earth. Then they live in the most harsh habitat like hot spring, salty areas and marshy areas. Then also we can see that they are different from another bacteria in the terms of their cell wall structure and also the composition responsible for their survival in the harsh habitat. So we can see a diagram of bacteria here, and this is the cell wall of the bacteria. So this bacteria basically has the cell wall which possess different composition in comparison to other bacteria. So these bacteria can be classified on the basis of their habitat. So the first one is in the case of extreme or the salty areas. These bacteria are halophiles, means they are attracted towards salt. Then the next one is thermoacidophils bacteria. Basically, these bacteria are found in the hot spring. Then the next one is methanogens. These bacteria are found in marshy areas or also found in the gut of ruminant animals such as cow. A note is given here, that is methanogens bacteria produce gobar gas or biogas from the dung of the ruminant animals. Now coming to the new topic, that is eubacteria or also known as the true bacteria. So these bacteria are found everywhere on the earth, so it's cosmopolitan. Then its cell wall is made up of polysaccharide, that is a kind of sugar, and amino acid, that is a protein. Commonly it's known as peptidoglycan. If we talk about the motility of the bacteria, so it is done through the flagella in some bacteria. So basically flagella is a thread-like structure which is present on the body surface of a bacteria. We will discuss about the flagella in detail in the chapter number 8, that is cell. So eubacteria can be classified as autotrophic and heterotrophic. Now autotrophic is further classified as photoautotrophic and chemoautotrophic. In the case of chemoautotrophic, bacteria obtain energy from the oxidation of organic substances, and this mode of nutrition also helps in nutrition cycle. Now coming to the heterotrophic mode of nutrition, that can be classified as pathogenic bacteria which causes disease, and next it can be classified as useful bacteria. Now let's see few examples of the disease causing bacteria or the pathogenic bacteria. So in humans, tetanus is caused by Clostridium tetani. Cholera is caused by Vibrio cholera. Then typhoid is caused by Salmonella typhimurium. We can also say Salmonella typhi. Then the next one is tuberculosis, which is caused by Mycobacterium tuberculei. Then if we talk about the plants, so citrus canker is a disease which is caused by Xanthomonas citri named bacteria. Now let's take some examples of the useful bacteria or the way by which bacteria helps us. So first one is it helps in the production of antibiotics. Then the second in the production of curd from the milk. Then bacteria also helps us in fixation of nitrogen, and they are very important decomposers or also known as natural cleaners. So the next topic is cyanobacteria, also known as blue-green algae. So it is classified into two groups on the basis of their habitat. So the first one is terrestrial and the second one is aquatic. So in case of aquatic, this can be again classified as marine water or freshwater cyanobacteria, and in case of terrestrial, it can also be present in moist places. So basically these bacteria are found in filamentous or colonial form, And in case of colonial form, these are surrounded by gelatinous sheath. So this is the bacteria and here is the gelatinous sheath around it. Now some bacteria also helps in the fixation of nitrogen such as heterosis. So in the diagram we can see the filamentous bacteria. These all are different bacteria present in the form of filament here. These are the heterocyst bacteria which helps in the fixation of nitrogen such as nostoc and anabina. Now let's talk about the algal bloom. So algal bloom is basically the extensive growth of cyanobacteria in polluted and stagnant water which is harmful for the aquatic animals such as fishes. Basically the growth of cyanobacteria takes place on the surface of water which do not allow to pass the oxygen through it. So because of that, aquatic life is unable to respire properly and so it causes harm to the aquatic life. Now coming to the next, that is the nutrition. So basically this bacteria perform photosynthesis as they have green pigments like chlorophyll A such as higher plants. So these are photoautotropic bacteria. Now we are going to study about the types of bacteria which are classified on the basis of the number and position of the flagella. So it can be classified as first, that is atrichous bacteria in which no flagella is present on the body of the bacteria and so is non-motile. Second one, that is monotrichous, means one flagellum is present at only one end of the bacteria. So this is a bacteria and only one flagellum is present at one side. Now the next one is amphitrichous, means one flagellum is present at both end of the bacteria as we can see in the diagram here. So the next one is cephalotrichous. Here two or more flagella can be present at both end of the bacteria. We can see in the diagram here that more than two flagella can be present. Then the next one is peritrichous. So in case of this peritrichous, flagella is present all over the body surface of a bacteria. Then the next one is lophotrichous, means two or more flagella can present at only one end of a bacteria. So now let's start with the new topic, that is mycoplasma, which belongs to the kingdom monera, and it is the smallest living organism which is also known as PBLO, that is pleuropneumonia like organisms, and it's pathogenic in nature for both plants as well as animals. So its genetic material can be both either DNA or RNA, and its respiration is done without the oxygen, so that is anaerobic kind of respiration takes place in these organisms. Now it was first reported by Nekodin and Rowex, found in the pleural fluid of cattle affected by pneumonia, and cell wall is absent in these organisms. So with this we came to the end of the first part of the chapter, that is the kingdom monera. So the next topic we'll be covering in the next coming videos. Until then, take care of yourself, keep on studying, and if there is any doubt, do ask me in the comment section. Do like, share and subscribe to the channel. Do not forget to hit the bell icon, and thanks for watching.